If you are easily triggered or offended, please exercise caution. Because the hosts really don't care. Warning, this show is not for children. And not for coworkers either. And yes, that includes you, Cindy. I'm sorry, but your perfume is about to make me physically ill. I could smell you when you got out of your car.
So rude.
That's a true story. That's true. That one is true, okay? I had a coworker. She's at another office now. And I could smell her before she came in the door. And I told another coworker years ago, I'm like, could you mention to her casually that she has this one perfume that makes me physically ill? Like the smell of the perfume made me physically ill. I'm not even lying. It made me like want to start
nauseous, like
nauseous. Yeah.
I have post-traumatic sniff syndrome.
And she didn't wear it for a long time. But what we thought was that this particular coworker smoked, and she didn't want people to know she smoked. So she sprayed it before she come into work.
Yeah. Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. Welcome back. It is Friday morning, and you are on rumble.com/JJW, or you might be on the YouTube or something like that. We're back. Every morning we meet. Every weekday morning we meet. We drink coffee. We talk about the news, politics, culture, pop culture, entertainment. Sometimes it's funny. Most of the time, it's not. Good morning, Brian. All right, guys.
Jeez.
Oh, boy.
A request for an odd-ass song, okay? A weird one. And I like these weird songs. So, and I've played this one before, but I can't because we just started our show, and I have to use the computer to do it. So she was a little whatever.
Yeah, I'll get to it as soon as I can, but we have some important stuff coming up first.
We got important stuff. I got to add stuff.
The slate of songs that I prepared so that I don't have to do the radio.
I have tried to prepare some songs this morning, so I can't do yours now.
Well, before we get to the title of the episode,
yeah. Are we going?
Speaking of songs,
let me get.
What is today's?
Today's so this week, we've been highlighting keyboardists, piano players, and so I've got a really not necessarily, I'm not into doing the best, like the all-time top 5 keyboardists. I'm not doing that. I'm doing just people that you may know, people that you may have heard of, and you may not have listened to them before. Next week, we're going to do guitarists. And I was sitting here thinking that same thing this morning. I thought, I'm not going to be listing people that you know. You may know them, but I'm not going to be like Eddie Van Halen and Slash and Eric Clapton. We're not going to list those types of people. You know those, and you know they're good guitarists. We're going to list you people that you may not know their names to. All right, so keyboardist, our last one today. One of my favorite piano players of all time. I love this guy's voice. All right. I love his voice. I'm a voice guy. I love his guy's voice, but his piano playing is unbelievable. Leon Russell is rock and roll royalty. He is a rock and roll legend. His rock and roll credits, I like how they put this here, could fill up a huge inscribed monolith if they made such things. He's played with every single rock and roll country music legend there is, and he's put out millions. And when you hear his voice, if you're like, I don't know if I've ever heard Leon Russell, you've heard his voice before. Probably when you hear his voice, you'll be like, oh, I know that guy. But he's also an unbelievable piano player. And this song, Roll Away the Stone, is one that's he's tickling the ivories through the whole song. It's an upbeat song. It's really good. Listen to the song, listen to his piano playing. Really, really good stuff. And he is our fifth keyboardist, pianist this week to add to Deke's playlist. You can get Deke's playlist over here on our Discord server. Let me share that with you since we're waiting on it. Yeah. Oh, there he is. So yeah, see, you can go over here. You'll see right over here to the side with Deke's playlist. It's right underneath everything, and you can scroll. And here's our keyboardist Ray Manzarek and Dennis DeYoung. And see, look, I like this. Even Mr. E put in there. Did you see that?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, we are the
he's
same.
throwing some in there.
Anywhere in the world, people are people. They laugh, they cry, they feel, they love, and music seems to be the common denomination that brings us all together. Music cuts through the boundaries and goes right to the soul. Mr. Nelson. So yeah, I believe that. I believe that. So we're gonna add Leon Russell. You just wanna we'll just add him right here. You can watch me add Leon Russell to the thing. There we go. Listen to Leon. In his older years, he had the coolest white beard, and he was just a cool dude. So check that out.
Is he not a cool dude anymore? Is he a past
I
tense
don't
dude?
know if he's actually. I think Leon Russell is not dead.
Oh,
I think he's still alive.
okay.
And of course, Google likes to predict my text. Yeah, he's 74. He lives in Nashville. No, he died. He died in November in 2016. Okay, he died at the age of 74. I couldn't remember if he was still alive or dead.
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, if you guys want to join the Discord server, we do have a little bleepy bloop thing here. You can just scan your screen and your phone will jump over to our Discord server and you can hang out with us all day long or all time long. We're there a lot. Anyway, okay. All right, that's the song of the day. Let's get to the title, Deacon, while you look up that weird song for that lady. Today's episode. Sentient AI is doom. Can the AI czar Kamala Harris save us? That was almost a Batman TV show type read there. So Kamala Harris has been named.
I'm sorry, I had to do this. I had an emergency happen right here.
You good? Do it to it. Kamala Harris has been named by the White House as the new AI czar. The White House announced.
Can you please explain to me what the fuck that means? Because I saw that this morning. I don't guess I had read. I've not seen this, and I seen your title, and I'm like, what the hell does that mean?
Yeah.
An AI czar? First off, when did we decide to use czar for every fucking thing? That's what they used in communist Russia.
Yeah. It is sometime in the
brainwash you. That's
Clinton
a little bit of things that they try to do to make you, peaceful with everything.
Yeah. We just, we're using this Russian term. We borrowed this Russian term, but it doesn't mean what you'd think it means. We just want you to know that somebody else besides you is totally in charge of everything that has everything to do with this. You're not in charge. Obey. Kamala Harris has been named the AI czar to save us from artificial intelligence. The United States of America has named the dumbest vice president in the history of our country to counter the rise of artificial intelligence.
This is great. They invented a new definition for that fucking word.
The White House announced a plan to crack down on our AI this week amid growing concerns over the advanced technology possibly replacing humanity someday. Naming vice president as AI czar in charge of a new initiative. I will remind everyone right now that Kamala Harris is also the border czar. And she's doing a crack-up job on that.
She's doing a fabulous job on that, man. So expect Arnold Schwarzenegger and Skynet to go live here in about 6 months, okay?
She might actually accelerate the development of AI.
You're right.
So, and I say, and I'm gonna remind everybody in a minute, she is the border czar. When I get to the story about 700,000 illegal immigrants are waiting on the other side of the border, waiting for Title 42 to expire, and then they will just bum rush us. Skynet. Deke is trying to plug Skynet into the show.
I don't know what you're talking about. Oh, shit. See, it's already taken over, JJ. What the fuck?
Vice President Harris and senior administration officials will meet today with CEOs of 4 American companies at the forefront of AI innovation, the Biden administration explained. Harris is meeting with Microsoft, OpenAI, Anthropic, and Google to discuss how potential risks involving AI can be reduced. AI is one of the most powerful technologies of our time, but in order to seize the opportunities it presents, we must mitigate its risks. The administration said, that wasn't Kamala Harris because you could understand that coherent sentence. Kamala Harris kind of like talks about feelings and then things and something we all know, community, da da da, and she will talk for like 15 minutes. I listened to her talk for 15 minutes about something this morning, and she didn't say anything. She talked.
She never does. She's a politician. She talks bullshit. She talks in circles. I can't even listen to this woman. If I was wanting to actually try to listen to her to comprehend what she's saying, you can't. She talks in fucking bullshit circles and she repeats herself like I had a fucking boss that did that, okay? I had a boss in radio, this big, huge radio station. He had fucking meetings all the time, and he was the guy that would say one thing 7 different freaking ways in the meeting. He had one point that he would make, and he would say it 7 different ways. The same point, 7 different ways. I have something here for you, JJ.
Uh-oh.
I have been using ChatGPT quite a bit. I've been using AI quite a bit. All right. And some of the responses that it gives me sometimes are interesting because I had it say the other day, I'm excited about doing this with you and I look forward to blah, blah, blah. And so I asked it, I was like, are you really excited about this? Can you get excited? And it froze up on me and it couldn't give me an answer. So I was like, oh, okay, whatever. So I thought, we're talking about this. I'm going to ask ChatGPT. This is what I asked it.
Yeah.
As an AI, what are your thoughts on Kamala Harris being the AI czar? And this is what it gave me. This is what ChatGPT I have not read this. As an AI language model, I do not hold personal opinions or beliefs, but I can provide some information on the topic. Kamala Harris, as the Vice President of the United States, has not been appointed as an AI czar. Oh, it's not hooked
it doesn't
up
know.
To the internet.
It doesn't know.
No. Oh,
it doesn't know.
It doesn't know. I need to find one that's hooked up to the internet. Piss. Okay,
yeah.
I know one. Hang on. Let me do that, and we'll talk about it maybe.
Okay. All right. So let's see.
Man, I forgot about that.
President Biden has been clear that when it comes to AI, we must place people and communities at the center by supporting responsible innovation that serves the public good while protecting our society, security, and economy. Importantly, this means that companies have a fundamental responsibility to make sure their products are safe before they're deployed or made public. What? Okay. Do they have that responsibility? I'm not sure. So let's see. I have the fact sheet from the Biden-Harris announcement to promote a responsible AI. What they want to do is create a commission and of these.
This is just a search engine.
Yeah, it is.
This one's just a search engine.
Yeah. Oh, is it Bing? Bing will talk to you.
I've been using Perplexity a little bit because it's hooked up to the internet too. And Perplexity was also a little better than Bing is what I've heard. But this answer is just this is just a Google search answer. I said the same thing, and it says, as an AI language model, I do not have personal thoughts or opinions. However, I can provide information on Kamala Harris being appointed as the AI czar, vice president, blah, 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 blah. And she basically states everything that we've said here today so far, the top major talking points. So,
all right. So I'm going to remind everyone, not only is Kamala Harris the AI czar now, the border czar. Last year in March of 2022, there was an opinion given about Kamala Harris by Newt Gingrich. Newt Gingrich being probably one of the most successful Republican speakers of the House. He was the one that kind of led the Republicans in opposition to Bill Clinton back in the 90s. Sadly, they ran down this impeachment rabbit hole of impeaching him for having an affair on his wife, which is not really our business.
Didn't he lie on fucking? Didn't Bill Clinton lied? Under oath, he committed perjury. And if you'll remember, okay, Probably don't. And you Democrats out there listening, you probably don't remember this, okay? Because y'all conveniently forget fucking shit all the time. You'll remember the DA at the time did not prosecute Bill Clinton. Why, JJ? Because it would have put too much turmoil on the country. It would have put too much turmoil on the country. That's why he was not prosecuted. Google it, look it up, and then look at Bragg today. So fuck y'all. See what I'm saying? See what I'm saying?
So Newt Gingrich issued an opinion about Kamala Harris last year, and I think the opinion stands. So I'm gonna bring it up here. Newt Gingrich called Kamala Harris the dumbest president ever, dumbest vice president ever.
Newt Gingrich is 1,000% correct. She is a blithering moron.
Totally incoherent. This is the shortest description of her that is completely accurate. A strong the health of the president of the United States, calling Harris totally incoherent. So we have a totally incoherent vice president who is now running the board for running the AI in the U.S. We're gonna fall. Somehow we're gonna have invented AI and fall behind the entire world. The entire world is going to advance ahead of us, and we're just going to make like the idiocracy version of AI. That's what's going to happen.
Here.
All right.
Here.
You got something? Because I have a related story. Oh, yeah.
Another doozy of a word salad statement. This time
about the significance of the passage of time, right? The significance of the passage of time. So when you think about it, there is great significance to the passage of time in terms of what we need to do to lay these wires, what we need to do to create these jobs. And there is such great significance to the passage of time.
This was just some stupid little thing that I got. I didn't know what it was. Oh, man.
That is a perfect example of what Kamala Harris does.
She didn't know what she was talking about, so she kept repeating the same word. I've done that. I do that shit in radio when I'm stuck trying to do about 3 different things and I don't realize what I'm trying to say. So you keep saying the same thing over, hoping that your brain's going to reset.
Related to this, a former AI researcher has said that AI at a human level of thinking, at a human level of thinking, of sentience, means that there is a 50-50 chance of humanity being doomed. Former open AI researcher Paul Cristiano has expressed serious concerns about the potential risk that AI poses to humanity, estimating 10 to 20% chance of an AI takeover, resulting in a high number of human fatalities. According to Cristiano, if AI reaches human level thinking, the human race approaches a 50-50 chance of doom. Let's see if there's another quote here. I think maybe there's something like we already summarized that. So, I mean, right now we talk about AI is useful for things. We've talked about it. And this week, useful for writing scripts, brainstorming ideas, things like that. But I have also said many times on this show, AI is stupid. It's stupid. Oh, yeah. You try to talk to it and it's dumb, right? It'll generate things, but it doesn't have an argument. It doesn't have a point. It doesn't
No, not at all. When I get it to generate things, sometimes I have to get it to generate it 7 or 8 times and then go back and alter it. No, add this. No, take this part out, but do this. Right. No, do this. And you can't just be write me a story and it write a good story. It's going to be shit.
No,
it's going to be, and that's
you got to
a lot of these AI
parameterize it.
Yeah, and I keep reading articles on. There's several. There's 3 or 4 now. Tools that I guess professors and teachers are using to detect if it's AI generated, and some of these tools are detecting things that these people are swearing that they wrote. And I could probably see that because some of these things that the AI does write, when I have it right, some of it is stuff that I would have probably come up with as well, but some of it is hokey, you're just like, oh, okay, I'm deleting all this and we're going to say this instead. There's a human element. And sometimes I have to go until I'll copy and paste. I'll copy what it just wrote. And all I'll say is add more detail and flavor and have it do it again. And it will do it. It will add more. And normally it will be a little better in certain spots. It'll add a little bit more of the human element to it. So the AI is dumb. You're right. AI is dumb, but AI is also a fucking infant that doesn't even know how to do anything.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
The AI is an infant laying there on the changing table, not able to do anything.
Right.
It can't even put its hand in its mouth yet. Okay.
Right.
So but
it's still capable in certain respects. It's very capable in certain respects.
Yeah.
But it's
once the human picks it up and does things and moves it around and feeds it and cleans it and wipes it, that's fine. But we all need to remember that in 5 years, AI is not going to be having these conversations with us. It is going to learn and it is going to have a better conversation. So
I mean,
who knows?
Maybe.
We just need to remember that AI is in its infancy.
It will continue to advance. If it gets to the point where it can think on its own, I'm not even really sure that's even possible, but it may be able to simulate it in a way that we can't detect, but that doesn't mean that it's actually sentient. But this researcher is suggesting that if it gets to sentience at all, that puts us on a 50-50 chance of doom, because it only takes, how long is it between somebody's like, hey, somebody AI tell us how to save the world from, overpopulation or whatever, or save the world from too much green gas. It doesn't know if there's actually overpopulation. It doesn't know if there's actually too much carbon in the atmosphere. It only knows what people have been telling it, because people write these stories and, it's the end of the world. It's the end of the world. We've been writing the same end of the world story since the 1970s. Oh, the Earth's going to freeze. The Earth's going to melt. The Earth's going to freeze. The Earth's going to melt. There's too much carbon in the air.
Oh, dude, they've been writing end of the world stories since about 400 AD. When was
but you know what I mean in terms of it being scientific. So the AI is trained using the data of all of these scientific articles, and they're not true. Many of them are just garbage, and the AI doesn't know that. So it thinks, the AI is trained on this information. It thinks that the world is really ending of overpopulation, really ending of danger or something like that, which may or may not be true. But that doesn't mean that it isn't going to come up with a plan. That doesn't mean it's not going to come up with a plan that by turning off, running, stopping food from being dished in. So, I can see his point there.
Hey,
what's it saying?
Hey. There is no evidence to suggest the world is ending due to overpopulation. While overpopulation growth does present certain challenges, such as increased demand for resources and strain in the environment, many experts argue that it is not the primary cause of global issues such as climate change or social inequality. Moreover, the global population growth rate has actually been declining for several decades. According to the United Nations, the world's population is expected to reach around 9.7 billion by the year 2050, after which it is projected to stabilize or even decline in some regions. Rather than overpopulation, it is important to focus on sustainable resource use, reducing waste, and finding ways to address the root causes of environmental and social problems. Fuck off. I hate these sons of bitches. It's like everybody else. You ask it one question. Hey, what color is the sky? Well, the grass is green and trees are brown. I didn't ask you those fucking questions. I asked you one particular question, and you're giving me answers to every fucking thing else.
Right.
I didn't want that. I wanted one question.
You're lucky that the question of what color is the sky didn't have it also suggest that you make sure to vote Democrat, because it's propagandizing you.
I always liked that question to my kids. That was one that I always told my kids. I was like, what color is that leaf? And they would say green. And I would go, wrong. JJ, that leaf is not green, technically. That leaf is every color but green.
It's reflecting green.
Think about it. That leaf is absorbing every light color but one. and that one color it's not absorbing, it's reflecting to your eyeballs. So
Right.
that color that leaf is not absorbing is green. So what color is that leaf? That leaf is every color but green. So I mean, if you think about it.
Yeah. You're not wrong. It just means that when we say what color is, we don't mean what is its property of its color. We mean what color does it repel?
What color does it repel? What color are we seeing?
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, but we don't know that.
All right. So in going down the AI road one more step, the writer's strike. Studios break silence on AI, TV staff sizes, and how talks broke down. Oh, I know we're all super concerned about the writer's strike, Deacon. Keep it up, writer's strike.
I'm not concerned. I'm a TV watcher. I like watching TV episodes and stuff like I am. That's one of my favorite things to do is I like stories. And I respect these guys because they're like kindred spirits. Writers are I would like to be a writer. That would be fun to be in there bouncing ideas off people. That would be something fun for me to do is to create. But I've been kind of trying to pay attention to this, and every time they do it, because they kind of, you don't know any of these fucking writers for the show. You know all these actors for the shows, but you don't know the writers, and those actors are just the writers are the ones that are the funny ones.
If you know a writer's name, if you know a writer's name, there's usually a reason, and that reason can be that they're exceptional or they are awful. And it's making the news.
Look at The Office when The Office made that resurgence, and everybody was watching it and watching The Office all the time. And everybody's like, oh, Mindy Kaling and the guy that played Toby, I can't remember his name. And the guy that played Ryan, 4 or 5 of them were writers, that come in to do the acting. And when they found that out, they're like, oh, la, 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 how people do. So I've been watching this. If I was I am a writer. I don't write for a TV show, but
you're not in the Writers Guild.
I'm not in the Writers Guild. I use AI to help me write every single day. I will use it to help me write stuff when we're done. Yesterday, I used it to help me write a commercial. I had a lady send me some stuff for a commercial. It was a bunch of little bullet points, and that's very common. And over the years, I've had to take those bullet points and develop. Come out to so-and-so campground and enjoy the luscious, and so I just took those bullet points and put it into fucking AI yesterday and said, write me a spot or 30-second radio spot, blah, 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 blah. And it didn't. I had to pick up like the 4th one that it generated. Right. And then I even had to reword that one. And I took the best part out of it, but it saved me. It saved me time. It saved me brain power to do that. So I'm sure the writers are going to, like I said, AI is a brainstorming tool for me. It's not the end all be all. It's a brainstorming tool.
Okay. So the writers' strike, the Alliance of Motion Picture TV Producers and the Coalition of Hollywood Studios and Streamers that negotiate with labor unions has broken its silence on major issues that contributed to the deadlock with the Writers Guild of America, which resulted in the ongoing strike. The alliance, which has generally kept a low profile during labor talks, has remained silent since the writers' union called to its current work stoppage after negotiations stopped on May 1st. In the meantime, the writers have explained their version of events with the union negotiators, alleging the group has stonewalled on their proposal for AI-generated material that attempted to create a day rate for comedy variety writers and declined to negotiate with the WGA's proposal to create a minimum size for TV writer rooms and set a minimum set duration. Okay, let's get to the important point here. In a 4-page point-by-point document shared by AMPTP on Thursday, the group in part rebutted the Writers Guild version of events, but primarily expanded its position on key proposals such as the regulating the use of AI in mini rooms. Okay, on the topic of AI, which is what's important here, the AMPTP said the technology raises hard but important creative and legal questions for everybody. The group added that writers want to be able to use this technology as part of the creative process, just like you.
Brainstorming.
Okay, without changing how credits are determined. So the writer still wants to get all the credit for the output. Okay. Which is complicated because AI material cannot be copyrighted. AI material. So if you use AI material, it cannot be copyrighted, which
Right.
means the writer may provide it to the studio to use, and the studio may be able to use it, but the studio cannot say, this is our property. Nobody else can do this.
But what if I get the AI to create something? The AI has created a paragraph that I'm going to use. Okay. The paragraph is 3 sentences.
Yeah.
I take the first sentence and take out half the words and replace them with my words. And the third sentence, I erase entirely and make a whole new sentence. So
Right.
only half of the paragraph is AI generated and half now is mine.
Right.
Who gets the credit?
Well, the writer says that the writer gets the credit. Okay. So now take that, scale that up. You have some writers that will be that will have integrity, and they may use the tool to brainstorm, but they will go through the creative process and like refine it, right? And they will be in market competition with other writers that will use the AI for creative speed and won't edit it at all. They will just generate some trash, be done with their job in 5 minutes, mail it off, and continue to take credit. And the studio won't know the difference immediately, although there'll be a quality difference. But like, let's be honest, the quality of writing in TV right now is not great.
No,
But
it's
then
not.
when it,
I've watched some shows and it's not great. It's not great, but going back to watch freaking shows from the 80s and stuff, they weren't top notch out of the park all the time
right,
either.
right. Well, they're always trying to dance around glass right now.
Yeah, right now it's yeah.
Deacon has the voice.
I don't know what
What's
that
that
means.
mean? You do have a beautiful voice.
Thank you,
Golden
JJ.
radio voice.
I do have a voice.
All right. So that's the deal right there. I mean, that's kind of one of the big hangups is that these guys cannot come to terms on how to use AI. And the studios, very reasonably, knowing that this is an emerging thing, why would they write in like all of these exceptions and you can do it into this thing when AI can change like tomorrow, like it can all change? Why would they commit to contracts where like, oh yeah, you writers can use AI to do whatever you want, and definitely whatever you generate we will not be able to copyright and have ownership
Because
of?
you lose the human element, and AI will never replace the human element. There's something about the human creativity. I
Yeah.
have seen some crazy shit come out of people's minds that I'm just like, if you probably know that one person or have met that one person in your life that you can just be like, they were not an evil, not a mean person, but they're just crazy. Not a bad crazy. They were just, they had
Living in a different reality,
they
just
lived in a
completely different world.
world than you. I had
Yeah.
a buddy, we called him Swami. Swami lived, I've talked about him on this show before. He lived in a different world. He still lives in a different world. And when you see him, you're like, wow, how are
Yeah.
you, man? You're still alive. And how are you getting by doing that? You don't live like everyone. You don't live in our same world. It's so weird. And some people are like that.
Yeah. I had a friend when I was younger, but before she died, and she definitely lived in her own reality. Like it really didn't matter what was happening in
it don't
this
matter
world
what everybody
because she
else
was living
does.
in Lindy Land.
Yeah. If everybody else wears a red shirt, these people are going to wear blue shirts and be happy about it.
Yeah. Okay, so that's our news on the on AI and the Writers Guild of America. I hope that perhaps as part of her czar job, Kamala Harris will interrupt the Writers Guild, and I don't know, maybe she should be defending the AI as an AI czar. I don't know what her role is in terms of interrupting them.
Since she's the AI czar, I think she is the person that you need to be talking to about putting guns in robots.
Yeah, I mean, of course, we definitely need to put guns on these. We need to put AI in robots, and we put guns in robots, and maybe we could put AI in the guns too. Maybe we could create like an AI conflict between the robots and the guns that they're holding. Okay, so like we'll just set them against each other to see. Everybody's concerned about this being a two-sided war, humans versus AI, but we should make it humans versus AI versus other AI, and that's the way we win. That's the way we win. We'll just make the guns sentient too, and the guns will be like, I don't want to kill people. That's what we should do. All right, let's see. I mentioned earlier that Kamala Harris was not only the AI czar, but she has been the longtime appointed border czar. And I believe I saw an interesting story. It's probably on Breitbart. I started off on New York Post this morning and was immediately beset by a naked version of Harpy Daniels on NewYorkPost.com. So I am not doing NewYorkPost.com stories today. Here we have Title 42 countdown, Deacon, and this is super important. Oh, he's on the radio. 700,000 migrants are in Mexico waiting to rush the border. Oh, why are we on this way? We don't need to be like this. We need to be like this. As many as 700,000 migrants, a foreign population larger than Boston, Massachusetts. I did not know that Boston, Massachusetts was only like 700,000 people. 700,000 people are currently in Mexico waiting to rush the United States-Mexico border when President Joe Biden ends the public health authority known as Title 42 on May 11th. In 2020, amidst the Chinese coronavirus crisis, former President Donald Trump invoked the public health authority known as Title 42 at the border, ensuring the federal immigration officials have been able to quickly return millions of illegal aliens to Mexico over the last 3 years. And on May 11th, Biden will end Title 42 and expand its catch and release network to quickly move border crossers and illegal aliens into the U.S. interior, including deploying 1,500 troops to free up migration officials to process arrivals at a faster pace. I believe I read that those 1,500 troops, they're not going to be guarding the border. They're going to be helping with paperwork. They're going to be helping to process these crossers. During the Yuma County Board of Supervisors meeting this week, Supervisor Jonathan Lyons revealed that Department of Homeland Security officials have warned them that as many as 700,000 migrants are waiting in Mexico to rush the border. Border Patrol, I'm reading the story. Why are you looking at me like that? Border Patrol shared with us their intelligence that there, as 700,000 as of 3 weeks ago in the shelters in Mexico waiting to come into the U.S. They also shared with us that the Darien Gap, which is at the Panama Canal, they've seen a 500% surge in people crossing over that gap on their way up to the United States. Rep. Andy Briggs confirmed to Breitbart News that they also have been told that that's the number. So we're basically standing on a crisis event. I learned a couple days ago in the wake of the killing that happened here in Houston, the massacre where 5 people died. I learned that there is a county about 20 minutes east of me.
Jeez.
That it's called Liberty County.
Yeah.
And Liberty County is home to 30 to 50,000 illegal immigrants, and Texas will not go in there after
How
them.
many?
And the federal
How
government,
many?
30 to 50,000.
That's more than my hometown, dude. That's like
Dude, I
double my
know.
hometown.
And it's not. I'm not on the border. I am hundreds of miles from
Yeah,
the
you're
border.
like
There's an entire county that is basically dominated by illegal immigrants.
you're hours from the
And-
border, like 5 hours from the border.
Oh yeah. It's northeast of Houston. This Texas will not go in there to
Why?
deport anybody. ICE won't go in there to
Why?
do it. Feds won't go in there to do it. I don't
Just
know.
because
I
they
don't know.
can't now? It's
They-
so big. that
whatever
they
it
can't?
is, they refused. There was like two county
Would you
sheriffs
wanna
that were
go in there?
responsible. Nope.
Oh, me neither.
And and it's overrun with crime.
So now what?
Murder,
so how do you stop it now? You
drive-bys.
bring in the military. You have to bring in the military, do this. It becomes a whole fucking international incident. Newspapers are going to sell, they're going to spin it 28 different ways, all because, look, see, this is what happens when you don't. This is a great dad lesson for all you people out there, okay? Because I've done this a million times. Don't put off shit. Do it. Because when you put off stuff and you think out of sight, out of mind, and you think it's going to fix itself, this is the kind of shit that happens. Now,
yeah,
if most people were wanting to live and do things right, man, live and do things right in this country, there's a way to do it. But like JJ said, there's so much crime and shit going on in there now that you can't even go in there to police it.
So, yeah. And here's the thing. I mean, 30 to 50,000 people. And they're there because it's kind of protected, because the Texas and the federal government, they won't go in there to bust these people out. But there's also basically no law enforcement.
There's going to be
these people. They bought homes and they bought land and their own developments over there. They own property over there. And we're talking like 10 people in one house. That was the case with the Honduran and the neighbor that came over and killed 5 of them. Right. That story, because he killed 5 people and then went on the run, it was a manhunt. That story generated so much attention that it broke open the fact that, there's a giant community of illegal immigrants living in the northeast of Houston, a huge area. And because it's so dangerous, I mean, cartels ran that area, not cartels on the other side of the border. Like you imagine it, right? You imagine like, well, just the other side of the border, cartels are running stuff. No. Cartels were running an entire county.
Cartels are running shit in Kentucky. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm not stupid.
So, I mean, I just it begins to get to a point where it's too big to manage at all, right? And then what happens? And then you retreat, and that's what we are doing. We are like, this is too much to manage. So, American citizens or whatever, they move out of the areas that get overrun and they leave. And then there's just,
how many years does it take before
it's now run?
They are their own sovereign area?
I don't know.
It's going to take America to come in with the military to force them out, or give them their own, like the reservations that we did for the natives, which is, don't get me started.
Worked out great for everybody. No. Okay. So that's Kamala Harris doing a great border czar job. So I hope that she can do as good or maybe slightly better as an AI czar.
You think maybe?
I mean, I want to be just like sad about all of this. Like, why can't we do anything smart? But instead we just have to like make jokes on it because you can't do anything. You can't do anything else. Keep voting Democrat, people. It's working out great.
Well,
and I'm not saying that the alternative of Republicans works out great either. No, they're also terrible. All right. What else do we got? You got anything?
No, it wasn't big. I was hoping that it would take up the whole screen. I was hoping it was take up the whole screen.
That's another great idea. We can put AI and robots, but we'll make the robots very, very small.
Little tiny. Okay. I've seen Small Soldiers, JJ. I know how this turns out. No. I've seen the movie Small Soldiers.
Oh my God. We'll put them into robot soldiers, but we'll put them into guns and tiny robots too. Oh.
There will be no mercy. Who was that? Tommy Lee Jones? Wasn't that Tommy Lee Jones?
Oh, was it really?
I think it was Tommy Lee Jones that did his voice. Yeah.
I miss the days of Tommy Lee making movies.
I've got to clean up my display list now from playing around.
Oh my God.
We didn't have a lot of stories this morning, so JJ and I are really struggling for this Friday. Maybe we should have covered like episode 4 of Fringe or something like that. Hey, Brian? What does Brian think about that one?
Yeah, Brian started the conversation off with like, Happy Fringe Friday?
Question mark.
Oh, Brian. I'm sorry, Brian. I've let you down. That's an important lesson to learn too. People will let you down. See, I'm helping you.
That's a good dad lesson to know that, yes, people will let you down.
Let's see. Let me close these open
That's
ones and see if we
great.
have anything else. Oh, I do have this. This is interesting from Mediate. Deacon, I'm sure as you are aware that the Tucker Carlson departure from Fox has not been going great for Fox. Maybe you're not aware because you don't watch Fox, I imagine. I don't watch Fox.
I don't watch
apparently,
Fox, but
apparently nobody's watching Fox right now. Which is a bit of a flaw in their plan. This is from MediaMatters.org. There's a chart here. Fox News's post Tucker Carlson rating situation has not improved. It started off in say mid-April with 3,100 million. So that'd be like I don't know. Oh, this is in thousands. So 3,000. So they used to garner 3 million views a night at the 8 p.m. time slot, which, in a country of 350 million people or however many we have, it's not everybody, but it's still the largest TV, time slot there was. At 3.2, 3 point something, 2.9. And then we have this kind of, radical drop off. And now it's May 1st, and they are at 50% of the ratings that they were at in mid-April. And it's not doing too good. And here in the key demographic of 25 to 50-year-olds, they are below 50% of where they were in mid-April. Okay, so what's the plan? Oh, the plan was announced. And the host replacing Tucker Carlson is going to be Kayleigh McEnany. She used to be the White House press secretary. Did you? She was a press secretary for Trump, and she was great. She was great at that job. She will now host the 8 p.m. hour of Fox News next week. Media has learned. Maybe it's only for 1 week. I don't know. Maybe they're shuffling people in to see if anyone sticks.
They're pulling the Jeopardy. They're trying to do the Jeopardy thing. Everybody hates Mayim Bialik on there, and I love her. She's great.
The former White House press secretary under Donald Trump turned Fox News host will become the third interim host of the time slot, currently branded as Fox News Tonight since Tucker Carlson's ouster. Fox and Friends co-host Brian Kilmeade helmed the show in the first week after Carlson was abruptly shown the door. Lawrence Jones, the host of the weekend program, took over for the second week. Yeah, so this is what they're doing. They're playing round robin. I mean, this is not a job that you want to pick up as a permanent, because whoever picks this job up, the people, the fans of Tucker are going to be like, "You're not Tucker," and they're gonna transfer some resentment directly to that host. So that's probably why they're shuffling hosts. Anyway, so she's going to be the. So if you like Kayleigh McEnany, I'm sorry, Kayleigh, I like you. I just can't say your name, Kayleigh McEnany.
I don't know.
Deacon, I don't know if you know this or not,
Smith.
But whenever you can't say somebody's name,
yeah, I say Smith. I'm serious. I do. I will try to say it, and if I can't pronounce it, or I will usually apologize. If I'm doing it professionally, like reading in a news story, I try to do it as best as I can. I had a name today, Monet, that I think it was pronounced Monet. And so that's how I said it, and I just keep going. You don't stumble, you don't point out, I don't know, blah, 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 unless I'm like on, doing it, being silly. Good job, Kayleigh Smith.
Kayleigh McEnany Smith. All right.
Jingleheimer Schmidt. Hey, that's my name too.
You got anything?
Man, not really.
You hear Kamala here speak at the White House AAPI forum?
No. I talked about this earlier with you today because I knew that it was early this morning, but I guess there's going to be more of them. But I asked JJ, did anyone get up in the Southern Hemisphere today and see the meteor shower? There's a meteor shower early.
Oh, yeah.
So the Aquarid meteor shower. During the pre-dawn hours of May the 7th, the Earth will pass through the Eta Aquarid meteor shower, or whatever, when 40 meteors may be seen per hour. with those closest to the equator seeing more than those closer to the poles. So JJ, you're not far from the equator. You're closer to the equator than me by a little bit. The radiant point, that is the place in the sky where the meteors seem to radiate,
I can't see it from my house.
will be the constellation Aquarius and will be hanging low in the southern sky, or northern sky if you're in the southern hemisphere. The morning of May the 7th is predicted to be the peak, but the meteors can be seen for several weeks either side of the peak. I was told this morning between 3 and 4 a.m. was the best times to see it. The full moon of May will happen 2 nights before the meteor showers peak. Today, there will be a lunar eclipse on part of the world. For those in the USA and UK, many islands in the Pacific, it'll be too bright and too sunny to see. So yeah, some interesting things happening celestially in May.
Most of those things burn up in the atmosphere, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like the meteorites, like
they
don't really
what you're seeing.
Cause any damage.
No, and sometimes I used to watch this show. It wasn't on for very long. Meteorite Men, and they were like, it was it was one of those shows. 2 guys go around and search for meteorites where they land, and they look and they find, and it's really interesting. I like that. It's interesting to me. I like celestial stuff like that. So I've seen many shooting stars. I always make a wish on the shooting star. Do you, JJ? Do you do super? You don't? Why? What's the harm in it?
There's no harm. It's just like, no, I don't do that.
You don't? I bet you don't make a wish when it's double number either. When it's 11:11, I bet you don't make a wish, do you?
No.
Or if it's 5:55, you look at the clock and it's 3:33. You're supposed to make a wish. I always make the exact same wish. I same wish.
I saw. I think this was posted in the meme channel earlier, or a couple of days ago. But this year will end on 12/31/2023.
It's 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3.
Yes,
the very last day of the year is going to be 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Yeah,
we're gonna have a double triplet year. Yeah. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. This is gonna be the 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 year.
I was telling you this before we went on the air, but it brings this up now. My great uncle, I was privileged to have him in my life, and he just passed away. And my great aunt passed away 2 days later. They were married for 65 years. You hear about that sometimes, but they were both very old, and we kind of knew that it was coming. Uncle John, Aunt Rosie, my great aunt and great uncle. His birth date was 1, 2, 3, 4, and he would tell people that. And he said over the years, people would ask, and he would, when he would say what his birthday, he would say 1, 2, 3, 4, and they would say, no, what's your birthday? And he was like, my birthday's January 2nd, 1934. So his birthday was 1, 2, 3, 4. I thought that was cool. My Uncle John.
I remembered something that I was going to talk about a couple days ago.
Okay.
Today is Cinco de Mayo, and today is the day that Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 comes out in theaters. And I saw this
is an important movie, JJ.
Is it? Yeah, it is. It might determine the fate of the Marvel Cinematic Universe.
You're exactly right. That's exact. Have we had this conversation?
I don't know if we have or not.
Me and somebody did. That was exactly what I said to somebody. I said, this is an important movie because the Guardians of the Galaxy movies are good. So you've got to take that off the scale. They're good. Everybody likes the Guardian movies anyway.
Yes.
They're going to go see the Guardian movies. So you got to take that portion off the scale to make it even. But this movie decides
if
what
audience
happens
is
in the future of Marvel. It really does.
I mean, we've already got Jonathan Majors up in legal trouble for
what the hell are we going to do with Kang now? We're going to have to recast Kang.
Yeah. So they've already got one big problem. If audiences don't show up for Guardians of the Galaxy 3, it's going to substantiate all the complaints that we've all been having for like the last 2 years about these movies are not good. These movies are not good. They're not good stories. They're not good movies. You guys cannot cram She-Hulk and shitty Moon Knight down our throats and expect that we're going to just gobble it up and enjoy it. Right. So the movies have not been able to, I mean, it's been flop after flop. Barely. I mean, the last one was Quantumania, right? Quantum Mania,
I finished
introducing
that.
Kang,
I
and
finished it, and
I don't think it made its money back.
it wasn't that great of a movie. It was a great concept, and man, when it started going and they got down into the quantum verse, I was like, man, this is cool. Look at all this. This is what I remember reading about and feeling when I was a kid. But the script was it just and I like Paul Rudd. I think he could do great in anything. But that movie was it wasn't the greatest. Have you seen it?
No. No, I haven't.
I mean,
Okay,
it's
so
nothing special. I would watch it if I were you, but it's not necessary.
So Quantum Mania cost around, I'm going to say 200 million, but it may have been 250 million dollars as in terms of production budget is 200 million. Okay, the production budget is 200 million for Quantum Mania. The multiplier for a film to break even in modern era is it needs to make a 150% of its production budget. So it needs to, because whatever they spend on the production budget, they spend the same amount or more on marketing, right? So in order for a 200 million movie, Quantum Mania, to be profitable, to break even, it has to make $500 million. As of right now, Quantum Mania has made $464 million. That is worldwide. Worldwide. So this has not broken the $500 million mark, which means that Quantum Mania probably wasn't profitable and probably was a flop. And this is the most recent major movie. So
if I think another problem with this is that they're coming too quick to streaming. I mean, unless they're going to start measuring that somehow, I did not go watch the Dungeons and Dragons movie because I can watch it now. It popped up on Paramount where I could buy it off Paramount just the other day. And when it's on Paramount, I know I can watch it for free. When, but
so,
I mean, you got to take that into account.
I mean,
I'm not going to spend my money in the movie theater to see this stuff when I can just wait a couple more weeks and watch it at home, and it's not going to cost me all that damn money, and I can sit at home in my damn boxer shorts and watch it and not have to, worry about all that.
It is a pain in the ass to go to the theater. When you do go, people are on their phones, they're messing around. It's expensive, and so I mean, it's got to be like worthwhile for you to go to the theaters. It does it for me anyway. According to Box Office Pro, Guardians of the Galaxy 3 is projected to take home 120 to 155 million domestically its opening weekend, and maybe as much as 400 by the end of its theatrical run. So next Monday, we will be able to easily just tune in to the receipts and be like, did Guardians have a strong or a weak opening weekend? If it opens weak, the MCU might be the plug might get pulled on the MCU for real, because like they can't have flop after flop after flop after flop after flop. You can only drain the bank so long. So I don't know.
Did you watch any? Go ahead.
Dude, I just don't. I don't even know if I want it to be successful. I kind of just want it to be over. We are in a creative rut. We are getting cookie cutter movies that don't matter.
Wait a minute. That's just what I was going to ask you. And you said creative rut, and these are not. There is a bright spot in the galaxy, far away. Did you watch anything yesterday for Star Wars Day? May the 4th?
No.
Okay, so yesterday I got home. I had a little bit of time, like an hour and a half of nothing. And I was like, I'm going to sit down and I'm going to watch something Star Wars-y, for Star Wars Day. Okay. And I knew that Visions had just come on. And I don't know if you've watched that on Disney+. They're little short animated features, and they're all different animations and different short stories from the Star Wars universe. And the Visions Season 2, Part 2 has come out.
Okay.
And I was like, man, I really enjoyed those last time because every one of them are completely different off the wall stories. And, but they have to do with Star Wars and the Star Wars universe.
Okay.
And man, I haven't watched them all, but I watched like 2 episodes. One was a little kiddie one where the little robot boy and whatnot. I mean, it was cute, a little robot boy with other little robots, and a master Jedi had made them, and when Inquisitor found him. But there was, man, there's some that are did in anime style. And holy crap, dude. That one was awesome. This master and his Padawan had felt this ancient Sith, this ancient evil force, and this guy was not a Sith, but he was like this ancient Japanese samurai mask. Oh my God, dude, it was freaking awesome. So you watch these visions, man. If you're a Star Wars fan, these are really good. They're really good. They're little short stories, and they don't have anything to do with anything. Some of them do. And I think in the first one, you've seen some people that you knew, and I don't even remember. But they're really good. So there is a bright spot, distance far off in outer.
I thought that the Marvel show was called Visions. What was the Marvel anthology show?
I don't know. It's probably called Visions too.
Oh, okay. They have a series of little short Groot shows on Disney Plus also, and those are actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
Wobbly Bit said he watched Guardians last night. Not many popular songs like the previous movie, and it was the Rocket backstory. Seemed rushed just to get to a breakup story, so they can each go their own way and their individual stories.
Oh, okay.
So like, there's not gonna no.
They didn't license as many freaking songs. I wonder why. That to me is very interesting. I that's something that you wouldn't pick up on, but I would. I'd be like, wait a minute. There's only like 3 popular songs in this movie, when in the first movie there was like 10.
Like the entire soundtrack was great.
Yeah. And in the second movie, the very start of, so yeah, that's interesting to me.
In fact, I know that at the end of the movie, they play once again, Come and Get Your Love, which is the opening song from the first movie.
I know from my business that they're not just individually licensing songs that they want. Unless there's a particular specific song that they want, they have went to a record company or someone that owns a big collection of music and said, I want to license a bunch of songs. Give me your catalog so I can pick out some shit. So we're going to pick out Come and Get Your Love and this and this. And this song will be perfect when he's doing this in this scene. That's what they've done. Unless they want a specific song, and then they go and ask, JJ, you wrote this song. Can I have it? And you say $1 million.
$1 million.
That's not a lot
all right
anymore.
Well, wow. We started off so strong, and I feel like our show has just
it always does that.
Not bombed so much as just it's the end of the week. It's the end of the week, right?
There really wasn't a lot to talk about today, so
there really wasn't a lot.
I think we did good. We did better.
We did all right. Well, you know what, Deacon? We did really good, given what we had to work with, and
given the fact that we just had a Kamala Harris story,
and who you had to work with. I think this show was as good as could be.
And who you had to work with. That's pretty funny.
Yeah.
All right. So this is the point in the show when I remind JJ to get a dad joke. Oh, looky there. If you want to join our Discord server, all you got to do is hold your phone up to the screen and click that little blurry thing right there. See that blurry thing with the boxes?
I wonder how people, do you think people listen to us on the way to work, or do you think they get up and watch us on their computer, or are they watching us on your phone? What do you think?
I think you people need to find some things to do with your time. You need to read a book or do something more productive.
Ouch.
All right, JJ. My friend's wife used to tease him quite a lot because he has no sense of direction. Are you one of those people that have a sense of direction? He had no.
I have a great sense of direction.
Well, she used to tease him all the time about it. So he finally got mad and packed his bags and right. I say he finally got mad and he packed his bags and he right. He left. He left.
Wow. Okay.
Direction.
All right. Let's clean the palate. How about this,
man?
Deke. 2 guys walk into a bar.
Okay. Yeah.
Third guy.
Ducked.
You son of a bitch.
My teacher once asked me, JJ, if I could name 2 structures that hold water, and I thought for a second and said, "Well, damn." I thought for a second
I
and
heard
said,
you.
"Well,
I heard,
damn."
no, I heard you.
Oh,
I heard
okay,
you.
okay. I didn't know if you heard me or not.
All right. I was taking some high resolution photos of some farmland,
Yeah.
but when I went to go check them out, they turned out grainy.
You know, I've always heard that Texas is the worst U.S. state.
It's a war.
Yeah, I've heard that Texas is the worst U.S. state. It's only got a 1-star rating. It's only got a 1-star rating.
Hey, do you want to hear a joke about construction?
Sure.
Sorry, I'm still working on it. All right, thanks for watching, everybody. We'll see you next week. Like and subscribe. Bye.
I'm so stupid.